Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Dark Jack, and in this gameplay I go 51-0 on the map Plaza with the nuclear medal. And in this video what I want to talk about are the marks of an uber gamer, and what is it that distinguishes the best from the rest of us in the game they play. So when I think of great gamers, I think of the competitive Halo teams like Straight Rippin', Instinct, Triggers Down, and Final Boss. And I think of competitive teams like Team Optic and Call of Duty and Team Fear and Team MVS. And I also think of people that I've played with like Doltex, who has a 50 in every playlist in Halo 3 except for Squad Battle, and he has over a 6 KD and a 6-win loss in every Call of Duty game. And so you can look him up on Call of Duty Elite. And people like Enviness, who has a ridiculous kill-death ratio, and he's an extreme camper. As well as people like Scumper Jumper, who's probably the best player in Optic, and people like Neighbor, who is probably the best sniper in Halo 3. And he's trying to get into competitive Call of Duty, now that MLG no longer runs Halo. And so from my experience of playing with Uber gamers, and based on the videos I've watched, there are 10 things that distinguish them from the rest of us. So I'm going to list these for you in this video. The first is, they all have extreme self-confidence. They are extremely confident in their own abilities to carry their team, and they have no doubt that they can win every gunfight that they get into. They have no doubt that they can win every single game that they play. And so they never back down unless they absolutely have to in a gunfight. They are extremely self-confident in their abilities. And not only are they self-confident, but they surround themselves with other talented players, because they recognize that they are only one player, and so they surround themselves with good talent. And so even if they have a bad game, they can play with people who can do better and backpack them. And then some games, their teammates are going to do bad, and then they can backpack their teammates. So they have extreme self-confidence, and they surround themselves with other talented players. The third thing is that they are unsatisfied with average gameplays, and they're not happy unless they dominate, and they expect to win every single game. And not only do they expect not to win, but they also expect to crush the other team in every game they play. So they not only want to win, they want to win in a dominating fashion. They want to crush the other team and leave no doubt in the people's minds who are watching that they are the better team. And they feel like they have to prove themselves that they are the best player of all time. They want to prove to everyone else that they are a great player, and that is part of their identity as a person. The fourth thing is that they play at least 4 hours a day, almost every single day. And they're always online. They always want to practice their skills. They recognize that they can always get better at the game, and that they have not yet reached their peak. And the fifth thing is that they have the spawn system down, and they know the maps like the back of their hand. They know the maps extremely well. They're able to predict where the enemy is going to spawn always, and they know all the traffic patterns on the maps. The sixth thing is that they are unashamed to use the best classes and the cheapest tactics. As Xcal once said, the better someone is at Call of Duty, the cheaper tactics they use. And there's a lot of truth to that. When you look at the most overpowered classes in this game, for example, Doltex, who's a great player, he uses the FAL with Select Fire a ton, and that's the reason why his KD is so high. Then the seventh thing is that almost all of them got into the game early. They've been playing the game since the very beginning. So in Halo, they've been playing it competitively since the first Halo game. In Call of Duty, they've been playing it since Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty 4, usually at a very high level. So they have a lot of experience behind them. The eighth thing is that they have great positioning, and they always position themselves so they have the advantage in every gunfight. And they are not looking for a fair fight. They want to always have the upper hand in a gunfight. And the ninth thing is that they know when to back down to stay alive if they are at a disadvantage. So when I watch gameplays by Doltex, he knows when to fall back and to get behind cover when the enemy team is coming. That way he has the advantage in a gunfight. Then the 10th and final thing is that oftentimes in public games, usually not in competitive games, but in public games, they are more concerned with staying alive than getting lots of kills, because they understand the importance of staying alive for their team, because if they're dead, they can't help their team play the objective if they're on respawn. And so they know when to stay alive, and they're really good at being elusive and being sneaky, and they're able to flank around the enemy team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.